All right, guys, so we're doing 8-4 today, but it's nothing new, okay? We've done all this stuff before. It's more of a review. We're going to solve some things by graphing. We're going to look at some problems off the benchmark. So let's go ahead and start with number one. Remember, when we're doing both of these, I'm going to go ahead and write this one out here. We have to solve these for y. And yesterday on the quiz, this was the bad part, okay? A lot of people are screwing up solving for y, and then they're having trouble plotting things, okay? So let's be really careful we solve for y. I want to pause the video for a minute. I want you to start solving both of these for y. Take about 30 seconds. Just let me get ahead. Or I'll let you get ahead, I guess is what I should say. So anyway, hopefully you've solved for y a little bit. I'm going to do the x plus y equals 9 first. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Now I have y equals negative x plus 9. Now what I've noticed yesterday and a couple of times before that is that people aren't sure where to stop. Guys, y is by itself here. You're done solving it for y. Well, now we need the slope, negative 1 over 1, and we need the y-intercept, which is 9, so that's the 0.09. So I'm going to go ahead and plot 0.09, and then since it's a negative slope, I'm going to go down 1, right 1. And I'm going to make quite a few points, down 1, right 1. This is not an inequality, so it's a solid line always, and there you go. Okay, so line number 1 finished. Now the next one, it's actually a little different than what we've seen. It's 2y minus 6 equals x, or 2y minus x equals 6, so I have to add x to both sides. Now I get 2y equals x plus 6. I'm going to put 1x here because we're going to end up having a fraction, because to finish we have to divide by 2. So I have y equals 1 over 2x plus 3. So same as last time, I take my slope, 1/2. I take my y-intercept, 3, and use the 0.03, and I'm going to plot my points. So over 0, up 3, and since it's positive this time, I go up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. Up 1, right 2. Now I'm going to stop there, and I want to talk about the opposite direction. Let's say I couldn't go any further to the right. Remember, if you have to go to the left, just do the exact opposite. Instead of up 1, right 2, we go down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. I think that got some people yesterday. So there's our two graphs. There's our system. Now, the solution to the system is the intersection, guys. A lot of people missed this yesterday. When we're solving systems by graphing, you're looking for where the lines intersect. And count carefully. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my solution is the 0.45. Now we can throw that back in our equations and check it. Remember, that's x and y, the top one. 4 plus 5 does equal 9. 2 times 5 minus 4 is 6. So we can check it if we want to, but we're good there. Let's do one more. I have y equals 3x minus 7 and 6x minus 2y equals negative 12. Guys, on the quiz yesterday, there was one that was already solved for y, and people tried to do stuff to it and messed it up. This is y equals, we're done. The slope is 3. The b is negative 7, so 0.0, negative 7. So I want y'all to pause for a second, maybe about a minute or two. I want you to plot that point and get that line. Then I want you to start solving 6x minus 2y equals negative 12 for y. So go ahead and do that for just a minute. So hopefully in that pause we got some stuff done. I'm going to have to subtract 6x from both sides first. I get negative 2y equals negative 6x minus 12. I divide all three pieces by negative 2, and I got y equals 3x plus 6. So now I have a slope of 3, and I have a y-intercept of 6, so 0.06. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and start graphing that. 0, negative 7 is right here. I have a slope of 3, so I'm going to say it's 3 over 1. Up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. Or down 3, left 1. So there's my first line. My other line starts at 0, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. It also has a slope of 3, so up 3, right 1. But I can't go any further, so down 3, left 1. Down 3, left 1. Now you might have noticed already because of the slopes, these are parallel lines. And guys, when we have parallel lines, there is no solution. And y'all did pretty good on the quiz question that was like that. Y'all saw parallel lines. You may not have written the equations, but you knew there was no solution. Okay? Now, that's all we're going to do as far as systems. We're going to look at some problems from the benchmark. And what I want to do real quick is pause for about 4 or 5 minutes. I want you to look through these and try to answer some, okay? So we're going to pause for just a little bit. Then when we come back, we'll go over them together, okay? It shouldn't take too long. All right, guys, so hopefully we got some of these finished. You may not have got all of them, but I promise you none of these are very difficult problems. It says, which of the following is equivalent to 3x minus 4y equals 6? Guys, this is standard form. All we have to do to get an answer choice is solve it for y, and we've done this to death. So first, I'm going to move my x's by subtracting 3x from both sides. Now I have negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 6. Now I have to divide by what's in front of y. And I get y equals, I have negative 3 over negative 4. That's positive 3/4 x. And then 6 divided by negative 4. We could put that in our calculator, but you should get 3/2. Remember, 6 divided by negative 4, math, enter, enter. Which should show us our answer, which it looks like is J. Be careful, guys. If you have a number right here, like it equals anything but 0, F and G can't work, because that's going to take away your y-intercept and make it 0. So think about some of these clues. The second you saw this, you should have known my B is a fraction. The only one with a fraction for B is J. So use some common sense, guys, and get these problems right. Let's look at number 19. There are several ways you can do this. It says the table represents some points on a graph of a linear function. What is the rate of change of y with respect to x? Guys, it means find the slope. So you could use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's going to work perfect, okay? You could pick any of the 2 points and do that. But you could also do the change in y over the change in x, which is what a lot of you tried to do. To get from 12 to 3, I have to subtract 9. To get from negative 2 to 0, I have to add 2. So I can take that and do y over x, and you get negative 9 over 2, which is b. So you could do that the other way, too. It'd be 3 minus 12 over 0 minus negative 2, and you'd still get negative 9 over 2. So either way you do it is fine. I think what a lot of people did was pick D. They did x over y instead of y over x. So guys, be careful when it comes to that problem. I know you guys can find slope. Remember, slope is rate of change. Let's go to the next one. This is another one that we have to be able to solve for y for. It says, which graph represents negative 3x plus 5y equals negative 15? Well, guys, if I can solve for y, I'm pretty much going to be able to put it in my calculator if I need to, but it's even better than that. I'm going to move my x's first. So now I have 5y is equal to 3x minus 15. I divide all three pieces by 5, and I get y is equal to 3/5 x minus 3. Now, the first thing I'd look at when I finish that is I have a positive slope. This has a negative slope. This has a negative slope. They're not going to work, okay? The next thing I'd look at is that it passes the y-axis at negative 3. This one passes it at 5. That's not going to work. This one passes it at negative 3. B is the answer. So you could put it in your calculator and look and see which one matches. You could go and count some slopes and find which one has the same slope. But use process of elimination, guys. Get rid of the easy ones. Oh, number 27 hurt so much, guys. Y'all, a lot of people got the exact same wrong answer because you didn't remember that I told you when you plug in something for x, you put it in parentheses. Given that f of x is 6 times 1 minus x, what's the value of f of negative 8? That means what's y when x equals negative 8? Now, if you tried to use your calculator and you didn't use parentheses, you got it wrong. If you plugged it in wrong, which a lot of you did, you got it wrong as well. This is 6 times 1 minus negative 8. A lot of people just assume, oh, there's a negative subtraction there, so I don't have to worry about that negative on 8. Yes, you do. That's 1 minus negative 8, which is a boom, boom. So that's 6 times 9, which is 54. Guys, we should not miss a question like that where it's plug in x. Make sure that you do it right next time. Number 42 says, in an electrical circuit, the voltage across a resistor is directly proportional to the current running through the resistor. If a current of 12 amps produces 180 volts across a resistor, how many volts would a current of 1.5 amps produce across an identical resistor? Now, we can set this up a couple of ways, but I think the way y'all will be most comfortable is cross multiplication. I know that when I do 12 amps, I get 480 volts. And if these are directly proportional, that has to equal the ratio to the other one, like 1.5 amps over I don't know how much, okay? So I can do cross multiplication here. I have to do 12 times x, which is 12x, and that equals 1.5 times 480. I'm going to write that one out. So that means 12x equals, and I got that to be 720. I divide both sides by 12, and I got that x equaled 60. Now, that seems like a really confusing question, but the only words that matter, directly proportional. 12 for a 480, 1.54, I don't know. Set up your cross multiplication. Let's get those right. We're almost done here. Oh, man, this is a no-work question, guys. You have to remember a couple little things. Now, every one of these graphs is essentially exactly the same. So using the slope and the y-intercept is not going to help us. What will help us is this. That means since I have greater than or equal to, it has to be a solid line. A is gone, D is gone. They're not going to work. The other part, if it's greater than, so y is greater than or equal to here, that shade above. So if I look at C and B, C is shaded below, B must be my answer. Now I think since we did the 8-2, I think this would probably have gone better, but we got to remember the shading, guys. That's an easy problem. Let's see, I think we got one more. We do. This one directly tells you what is the slope of the line that passes through these points. This is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I've got x1, y1, x2, y2. All we have to do is plug those numbers into the equation. That's 12 minus 26 over negative 39 minus 26. So be careful. Put these in your calculator correctly if you need to use it. 12 minus 26 is negative 14. Negative 39 minus 26. Did I mess that up? I did. Oh my goodness, guys. Y'all should have said something. Let's see, it's 12 minus 7 on top. Woo. If y'all need to fix that, go ahead. 12 minus 7 is 5. Negative 39 minus 26 is negative 65. So one thing you know for sure there, our slope is negative. B and D aren't going to work. Now, it should be pretty obvious what it is now. We're going to have to simplify this. Remember, we can use math, enter. But I guarantee you 5 divided by negative 65 is not 13 or negative 13. The answer is A. Guys, just put 5 divided by negative 65 in your calculator and hit math, enter. So, guys, I think you see a lot of these problems you may have missed were not that bad. We were just a little out of practice because we took the benchmark all of a sudden. But make sure you realize and look over this paper. You're gonna that these are not that bad. You have some of these on your homework today. Make sure and get them done. This homework is due, I believe, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So make sure and get on it now. You have tomorrow in class. Also remember, your posters are due tomorrow. Good luck.